Certainly. While the period from 1530 to 1535 is before the official founding of the United States, it was a time of significant exploration and early encounters between Europeans and the indigenous peoples of the Americas. Below is a historical fiction short story based on real events and figures from that era. The Forgotten Expedition, a tale of 1530s America 1530, the rumor of Cibola in the bustling port of Seville, Spain. An aging conquistador named Alonso de Molina listened intently to the whispers of sailors and merchants. They spoke of a land far to the west, beyond the newly conquered Aztec Empire, a place called Cibola, where cities were said to be built of gold. Though Hernán Cortés had already claimed vast lands for Spain, many believed greater treasures lay undiscovered. Molina, desperate to restore his fading reputation, secured a small ship and a crew of 40 men. Their mission? To explore the northern coasts of the New World, where few Europeans had ventured. 1531, the storm and the shore. After months at sea, a violent storm blew Molina's ship off course, wrecking it near an unknown coastline, somewhere between modern-day Florida and the Carolinas. The survivors, ragged and starving, were found by a group of Timucua warriors. At first, the Timucua were wary, but their chief, Herihiga, saw an opportunity. The Spaniards had strange weapons and metal tools, and he hoped to use them against rival tribes. He allowed the men to stay, but as guests, not conquerors. 1532, a fragile piece Molina, though weakened, tried to communicate with the Timucua. He learned their language and even helped them forge better farming tools from melted down Spanish steel. In return, the Timucua taught the Spaniards how to hunt, fish, and survive in the dense forests. But tensions grew when one of Molina's men, Gonzalo de Varga, demanded they seize control of the village. "We are Spaniards. We should rule these savages, not live among them," he argued. Molina refused. He had seen enough bloodshed in Cortés's campaigns. 1533, betrayal and bloodshed. Varga, defying orders, stole weapons and tried to take Herihiga hostage. The Timucua fought back, killing Varga and 3 others. Molina, horrified, begged for peace, but the damage was done. The Timucua expelled the Spaniards, forcing them to flee northward. 1534, the long walk with no ship and no way home. Molina and his remaining men wandered for months, surviving on stolen food and the kindness of smaller tribes. Some men died of disease, others deserted, blending into native villages. By the time Molina reached Chesapeake Bay, only 6 men remained. There, they encountered a fishing party of the Powhatan people. The Powhatan, unlike the Timucua, had heard of the Spanish from traders farther south. They took the strangers to their chief, who debated whether to kill them or use them as bargaining tools with other tribes. 1535, the last survivor Molina, now the only survivor of his expedition, was kept as a slave. He taught the Powhatan how to sharpen metal tools and even wrote his name in the dirt, trying to explain writing to curious children. But his health failed him, and before winter came, he died of fever. His story was never recorded in Spanish archives. The Timucua and Powhatan passed down tales of the pale men who came before the others, but their true fate remained a mystery. Epilogue. Decades later, when English settlers arrived at Jamestown in 1607, the Powhatan remembered the stories of earlier strangers. But by then, Molina's forgotten expedition was just a shadow in history, a lost chapter in America's long and turbulent past. Historical notes. While no major Spanish expeditions are recorded in this exact time and place, Lucas Vasquez de Ayllón had attempted a colony in South Carolina in 1526, which failed. The Timucua and Powhatan were real indigenous peoples who later interacted with European settlers. Stories of Cibola, the Seven Cities of Gold, later drove Spanish exploration in the 1540s, for example, Coronado's expedition. This story blends real history with fiction to imagine what could have happened in those unexplored years. Hope you enjoyed it. Would you like any changes or additions? Please subscribe my YouTube channel for more videos.